Welcome back to the only podcast that's 95% more live than the last time we were live, which means we weren't actually live. But now we are, Jen. We did it.
We did it. We're here.
Accomplished. We're here.
In person.
We did it again. But this time, just me and you.
Yeah, just us.
Just us.
And
just
hopefully the way the podcast keeps going. Because I got plans.
She has, listen, her plans.
I got plans. I had last time. And I won't stand for that at the end of this episode.
You're not wrong. I will say this, though. Your plan's sometimes a little sketchy. Can we talk a little bit about how long and how hard it is for you to get to Seattle without any kind of issues happening? Because last time.
What happened last time?
Last time you were late o'clock. And you had the parking where you didn't actually pay for parking.
Oh my gosh. I booked a reservation at a very sketch hotel and then drove away. I was like, I'm not staying here. Was late for the party that I was going for, the YouTube party that we went to,
right?
And then just like flew into a parking lot across the street, meant to pay for parking. Travis was like, just come inside. I'll help you pay for parking because it wasn't working for me. I never paid for parking.
I don't know how you got out of there
Seattle's
with your car.
Gonna come get me. Every person said they were like, don't mess in Seattle. Like, they will get you.
You literally were the luckiest person. I've never seen this before because you were there for like 3.5 hours or something, right?
Yeah, no, I was just there, like parked like dead center, no parking garage, just like right there.
Seattle actually owns your car now. You just don't.
Good, they can fix my windshield.
That's the other thing. So last night, Jen comes up to Seattle to come do this episode. And what happens? Tell us about that.
I don't know exactly what happened, but something flew up my windshield. Obviously a rock, a very large bug, a bird. I don't really know.
A bird?
we don't know, but it cracked my windshield so hard that like glass flew onto me because it was such a powerful thing.
What?
Yeah. I sent you the picture. It's not like, the whole windshield didn't like cave in or like shatter or anything, but it was such a hard punch that like little shards of glass like flew back at me and I was like, what's going on?
What did you hit?
I literally don't know. And I didn't find like a rock or anything in the car and it didn't like fully go through. It just hit enough where like glass shattered back. So I just have like little tiny shards of glass and like a problem for later.
Well, if you didn't know, this actually is a podcast about YouTube. I know it has nothing to do with what we just talked about, but you just need to know
it's a journey. We're here.
We're here. You have to understand the struggle it was to
what
get this.
What it takes to make this podcast happen in person.
Y'all thought it was easy, but it's totally not. All right. For those of you that are new, welcome. My name is Travis. This is Jen, and we try to help you grow your YouTube channels, and we answer your questions. We've had people send in messages, and today we're going to talk a little bit about views.
Views.
Which is a hot topic.
It's probably like the number one most cared about thing.
I need more views.
The biggest concern. I feel like we don't even hear, I want more subscribers. I feel like we don't hear that anymore, really.
Yeah, hopefully people understand like the difference between views and subscribers. They aren't connected
because
directly.
You could have 1 million subscribers that aren't watching your channel anymore. And that happens.
Yes.
It happens. People who've been on the platform a long time have audience that have just grown out of their content, which is understandable. Just because you have those subscribers still doesn't mean they're watching what you're doing now, which is normal.
I personally know people in this exact situation. I will not name them. Don't forget, Jen. Every once in a while, you should look at your camera.
I was looking at my camera.
Were you? I don't know. See, we're in a studio. We're both trying to figure this out.
I'm gonna just look at.
I like looking at Jen, and then I look at my camera, and then I look over here just cause. Yeah, it's fun time. Okay, let's just get to the. People are probably like, okay, get to the point.
Get to the views. How do I get views?
So the first one is an email, of course, theboost@vidIQ.com. You can send that to us. And the first one comes from Mark. It says, Dear Jen and Travis, YouTube is the den of mayhem and chaos. That is all. I wanted to start there because last night was the den of chaos and mayhem for Jen.
YouTube entirely.
Yeah, YouTube all together.
Mayhem and chaos. No matter what. Good things, bad things, it's mayhem and chaos no matter what.
He's kind of not wrong, though. Can we be for real?
New slogan?
We need new shirts. See, every episode, we got to need a shirt for that. We need a shirt for that. Mayhem and chaos.
Oh, my gosh. It's really spot on.
Amazing. All right. Well, anyway. Mark has no question. So we're going to get to the next one.
Mark.
Question. Thanks, Mark. We appreciate you. Next question. All right. I got to put my glasses on for this. I hate that. Hi, Travis and Jen. You're my number one podcast to listen to on my commute. Let's go. You have to watch this, though. You got to watch on the YouTube channel. Of course,
while you're driving.
Not while you're driving.
Maybe they're a train commuter.
They're probably listening to the audio podcast, but really in this episode, you should be watching on YouTube. Thanks for keeping me informed and entertained.
I don't want to say like, I mean, you could watch it and listen to it at different times.
That's genius.
Taking the information twice.
That is genius.
That 5-star review.
Don't forget the 5-star review. Some of y'all are slipping. Thanks for keeping me informed and entertained. I have a physics tutorial channel, and I've noticed that my views significantly dip during the summer since students are on summer break. How should I approach this off-season? I assume stopping to make videos would not be the right choice to grow the channel. Any idea I should do? What would my mindset be during the down season? Thanks. Okay. And this is from a text message.
This is kind of fun. This comes down to like an ideas situation.
Yes.
So obviously the target audience we're dealing with are students.
Yes.
Not in school.
Right.
So what did students do in the summer?
Anything but school.
Fun things.
So
how can we tie physics into like fun things? Like, is there physics behind like building a giant slip and slide?
I think physics happens all the time.
Probably. I'm not a scientist.
You're not? Well, you're fired. Get out of here right now.
Spoiler.
I mean, you told us you were a physics major. Okay. No, this is good.
Okay, but you see what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
So like we have the school stuff. It's priority to, ace your classes, pass their classes. Whatever your goals are.
Are you helping people cheat on their, what are you saying?
I'm saying we have the people who are trying to ace it and the people who are trying to pass it.
Okay. Keep going.
So they're looking for help, and the focus is school.
Yes.
Academics. But in the summer, there's got to be a way to kind of just have fun with videos. Maybe it's even fun for this person to just lean into fun physics projects, experiments, things that are maybe outside of the classroom that just seem interesting. I also think this is a time like passion project, have fun with your channel.
Yes.
You're kind of doing what you need to get done, and a lot of times like highly discoverable videos, and keeping that up during your in-season or like your peak season can feel repetitive.
Yeah.
They can feel more like work.
Yeah, sure.
So is this an opportunity to just have fun with some content, to try new things, to experiment, to like literally do experiments?
It's not a bad idea. I think also it's important to point out that views across YouTube tend to go down around that same time. So it's not just channels like this that will see a dip in, because everyone's trying to get out in the summer, man.
Summer's tough. Right after Christmas and summer are tough.
Yes.
And like we know this. And it's one thing to just be like, okay, like I'm going to get normal views, but we don't really like to accept that.
No. But I love the idea of doing like physics based kind of fun activities. I guess we don't really know like what age group it doesn't really say on the email. So
I feel like physics, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you don't get into physics until like high school or college at least. I mean, I don't think we're teaching physics to kindergartners.
Right, but I guess maybe we are. I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't been to school in a long time. I wonder if the reason I say is because what if the type of content that they're trying to do for the fun stuff, do you aim it more towards a slightly younger audience or a college audience? I guess again it depends on who they're doing this for. I
mean, I think that you keep it to your target audience, but just think about like what are their interests outside of school. Like even if their interest, I mean, we're talking students, is like their interest just TikTok? Like are their TikTok experiments like physics, like fun things to test out?
There are though.
Do you know what I'm saying?
You've seen those like short forms where they'll put like a drink in something and then it changes color and then it comes out purple when it was blue or something. You know.
Yeah, I'm like kind of thinking the same thing. Like I literally don't know what physics are. Like we're not here to talk physics.
Oh my God! Wait a minute.
Like,
hold on.
We're here to talk.
Can we stop for a second?
Wait.
What do you mean you don't know what physics are?
I like physics. Like what is
like,
that?
You don't know what it actually
gravity?
is? I mean, that definitely has something to do with it for sure. That definitely has a lot to do with it.
That's all I think about is like gravity.
Okay, let's just call it a gravity channel then.
Like,
so for your gravity channel,
go prove gravity into short form content.
That's a great idea. So just throw things in the air and let them drop, right?
Physics, okay. Well, I'm thinking like chemistry and physics. When I think about like, when you get cool drinks at like the coffee shop and stuff, and they're all layered because like the viscosity is different.
Okay, look at you using big words.
I don't know if that's chemistry or physics, so like I literally don't know.
But okay, that's fair though.
But I'm saying like you have college kids who are just like drinking their beer or matcha, whatever we're saying, and like you layer cool drinks. Like what's that? Drink? Isn't it black and tan or something? That's like layered beers.
Is there a black and tan?
Yeah, it's
I
like
literally
2
don't
beers
know.
Layered.
I only go to Starbucks
Alex,
for their
you know
breakfast
what that
sandwiches.
is.
What is that?
You don't
No,
know.
we don't know
what it is.
No one knows.
It's a thing.
So
It's
make a
literally
video
thing.
about it. Really?
It's a thing.
That's
But
what we're
short
saying.
form content, I think, could be a win here.
That's true.
Because it's easy, it's experimental, and it's, I don't know, it could just be fun. It could be part of your daily life more than the content you're making now.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
This probably is. I think it's all about experimenting. You still have a couple of months before that happens, based on when we're recording this. Actually, not that long. The year's gone by very fast.
Actually, it really has.
Why are we in April already? All right, look, let's get to the next one. Next one's another text message. Hi, Jen and Travis. I have a channel where I talk about horror movies, and more specifically, indie horror movies that not many people have seen. The problem is getting people to click on a video about a movie they've never heard of. I don't talk about the big popular movies because there are thousands of other channels already doing that. I genuinely have a passion for these smaller indie movies. So what do you have any advice on how to get people to watch something they might not know about? Well, that's a great question.
Passion is everything. First of all, you're winning because you have such a strong passion for something, and that is really hard for most people to identify, to even make their channel about.
Yeah.
Like, you check one. No. Like, you have a focused channel. The hard part now.
That is the hard part. And they're also fighting against the overwhelming kind of popularity of doing what everyone else is doing. They're like, no, I like these indie titles. I like these indie movies. I want more people to know about them, which is awesome. I would also say that you probably are in a unique position where doing indie films and talking about indie horror films would probably get you an in with some of those producers, directors, and writers who are looking for promotions on those movies in the first place. So
that's actually a good point.
You'd be surprised at how many doors that opens, no matter how big or small your channel is. You would be surprised at how many people are looking for free promotion like that.
And the copyrights that you'd be able to
potentially
use.
Please don't copyright strike me if I find
right?
it. So I think this is this is the key to success here. It's, he's worried about how do you get people to, well, I mean, they're either going to find you or they're not. If you make really good content about this stuff, YouTube's really great about finding people that like things similar. I see things on my homepage all the time that have things have nothing to do with things I've ever watched before, and then I watch them and now I'm sucked in a hole for 3 hours.
Okay, I think there's like a really good opportunity though, even though you don't want to talk about the movies that everyone's like loving, like the mainstream things, they're still the most familiar thing. Right. And I think about this in like a book sense where you use a strategy that's, if you liked X, you need to know about these.
I agree with this, yes.
So what's a horror movie? I don't watch horror movies.
Saw?
If you like Saw, you need to watch these 5 movies.
That's true.
And using something that's really popular to your advantage in that sense, but obviously you're not making your content about Saw. But a lot of times people don't know how to find things that they're looking for, and they can only base things off of, well, I liked this. How do I find movies that are similar to this?
Right.
And I don't think it matters to them if they're indie movies, mainstream, like whatever kind of movies they are. But people are looking for good horror movies.
Yes.
And I think that's a way to bring in a wider audience using a strategy like that. And then I also just think there's kind of like playing into a little bit of that fear. Like, are you a horror fan if you haven't watched these movies?
Oh, interesting. Like FOMO.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where like someone thinks they know like their horror movies. And I feel like when you kind of lean into indie anything, people kind of think they're hot stuff. And they're like, no, I know a lot. Do you feel like? Do you feel like that's true,
feel that. I feel that.
Even just like indie bands or something where they're like, no, I know a lot.
Listen, I don't know if you know who I am. I'm kind of important.
I listen to indie music.
And then the other cool thing is you can do things like interview the directors, producers, writers, actors. And again, you might think, well, I won't get as many views. That's true. But the people who will watch your content will be so invested that you're going to have this really cool community that you can kind of count on. And it's that same community that will help elevate you to bigger opportunities. Again, you'd be surprised at how powerful having a channel about something very specific is. I've seen this time and time again. Matter of fact, one of your former clients was Caleb?
Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb.
Yeah.
So remember we told him, so he had a channel about watching like Marvel superhero TV shows and stuff. And I said, you probably could do is you could probably leverage just to get into like Comic-Con or something for free. And he goes, really? I go, yeah, you have a YouTube channel about this stuff. I know it's not a huge channel, but I bet you could. what he emailed us like a month or two later. He goes,
Yeah.
I'm going to the New York City Comic Con for free. I got to admit. I'm like,
yes.
yeah, of course you are. You're actually a lot more influential than you think you are. Yeah.
And I think this is a good idea too. Leveraging streaming platforms.
Yes.
I think this is where listicle content actually is super powerful.
Yeah.
5 indie horror movies you haven't seen on Hulu. Top
Boom.
5 indie horror movies you can't miss on Netflix.
Yeah.
I mean, things that, I mean, people are,
Very smart.
I'm always someone that's literally always Googling lists like that.
Yes.
Based off of what streaming services like I pay for.
Yeah.
So I think there's an opportunity there to rely on that really known component, which is going to be the Netflix, the Hulus, the Amazons, and then the unknown, which is your problem, are the movies.
Right.
So I think you have a couple good options for discoverability. I don't want to like pat ourselves on the back here.
You're not wrong. And the thing about it is you brought up a really good point because the timely thing can be good if you cover movies and stuff that have just come on or just about to leave Netflix or Hulu. Like if you get people that are always coming to your channel because they want to see the movies and stuff that are about to leave. Because, you know, every couple of weeks, Netflix or Prime or whatever, they're always getting rid of content. So you can say, you know, you want to watch these movies before they leave.
Don't miss
These movies. You know, hidden gems. And I feel like you'd be surprised at how big of an audience you actually can get from that. And so it's funny, we have this text message from someone saying, I don't know how I can get people to watch. And we've just given you so many different options that can get you an audience that would absolutely love your content and never want to watch one of those quote bigger channels because maybe they are looking for something different.
I think you could flip. It's not even horror, indie horror. Like you could flip this for that's exactly it. Like to get more views, like you have to think about that known component differently. Like you have to figure out a way to have something familiar in the way that you advertise your content. Yeah. Because again, you have this one single movie, you have this one single book, this single artist, and nobody knows, like nobody's clicking. You have to give them a reason why it should be interesting.
Yeah. We talked about in the previous episode, actually last episode before this one goes live, like self-confidence and kind of when we had the Discord call with those people, so many people were like, you know, I'm not confident in being on camera, or I have self-doubt, or I'm imposter syndrome. And this, while this isn't exactly that, you also can feel the tinge of it. Because like, how do I get people to watch my content?
Yes.
Make good stuff, bro. What are we talking about?
Yep. Anytime I feel like you compare to a bigger something, bigger channel, bigger creator, bigger movies, mainstream something, like there's always like that little bit of like, why am I special? Why is this important? Right. Who cares? That's a big one. Like who cares?
I mean, I care.
We like to think nobody cares about our content as creators. Like, why would someone care if I watch this?
Who cares? I care.
They care.
Jen
I
cares.
care.
We all care.
We care. I won't watch horror movies. So like,
I don't either.
I care about you.
But I did watch Saw.
Not watching.
I watched all the Saws. I'm not gonna lie. So here's what happened was.
You watched all the Saws?
Here's the thing. Here's why.
Closet Saw fan?
I don't like horror movies. But here's what happened. So many a year ago, with my ex, I know this is where all the bad things happen, right? That's how all the bad stories start with my ex, right? Here's how it happened.
Okay.
It's just one of many things. So
is this why you broke up?
No, it's not the only reason. But anyway, we wanted to rent a movie or something, and I think her daughter at the time, I mean, it's still her daughter, but at the time, her daughter said that. I mean, she doesn't have the daughter. No, she has the daughter now. Anyway, you snorting now? Is that what's happening? Is that where we're going with this?
It was such a good catch.
Okay, good. No, I got it. All right, well, good. So anyway, they were like, well, I want to rent a movie. I want to watch Saw. And I'm like, I don't want to watch no Saw. That looks gross. So, but I mean, like, I'm trying to impress the girlfriend and all that, you know.
That's fair.
Trying to impress.
That's fair.
So I'm like, okay, let's watch it. It's kind of intriguing. Now, I don't like horror, but I do like suspense.
Okay.
It is a very suspenseful movie. So at the end, I'm
gory.
like, it is pretty gory, but I was like, okay.
How'd you handle the gore?
I was okay. I was kind of a little squeamish, but I was kind of okay with it, right? Okay. At the end of it, I was like, okay, that was actually interesting. It was very intriguing, very interesting ending. Then they were like, oh, Saw 2's coming out. Saw 2? But I wonder what happens next.
Got him.
The problem wasn't that I was interested in the movie. I was invested. So I'm like, let me watch a little bit of the next one. Okay, I watched it. Okay, I went through it. Okay, I saw it. I don't really want to watch that again. Never watched it a second time. Saw 3. Well, I'm already in.
Oh my God.
I don't necessarily like it, but I kind of like it.
Everybody make a YouTube playlist. Travis is gonna binge watch it. He can't help it.
Bro, I can't do that. We gotta get off this conversation. Okay. What's the last email?
Can't help it.
We're gonna need to pull up the last email. All right, look. All right, this one's from Chris. Dear Trend, which is of course our name. Travis and Jenn.
Yes.
Well, now with these new views on stats being all impressions, the waters seem really muddy. What's the benefit of having views counted in this new way? And the answer is none. This is about
they gave
shorts.
the answer. The answer is none.
This is about the new shorts views. If you have not heard, the way that they're being counted on YouTube now is wildly different than it had been. Engaged views versus other views.
Which you have talked about several times.
I did.
On the pod about impressions versus views.
Right. So here's the reason why I think YouTube did this, because they do it the same. This is the same reason they've done a lot of things. Why shorts exist. Because TikTok did it. This is likely the way TikTok has been counting their views, which is why a lot of creators are like, oh, I get more views on TikTok. Do you though? Actually, so they've leveled the playing field by counting them the same way that they, I assume TikTok counts them.
I'm sure.
Which isn't an engaged view. Which an engaged view is like you have to watch it a couple seconds or something like that. This is just as soon as it comes up, boom, that's a view. So now the numbers are the same, and this only rolled out in the last couple of days as of the recording of this episode. So we've seen it on the vidIQ channel.
Wow,
30% increase in views overnight. They flipped the switch, and at midnight we saw it shoot up. It's funny because Mr. Beast's data analyst had predicted that it would be about 30% rise for everybody, and it did. Literally overnight, boom, 30% more. Okay. So what creators are going to see is like, oh my God, everything's working on YouTube. It's almost this weird.
It's a confidence boost.
It's not just a confidence boost. It's like a flim flam. You've been finessed.
Flim flam.
You've been finessed. I feel like you've been finessed. It's like, oh, I get 16,000 views on my last short. No, you didn't. You got like 500.
Wait, I'm not mad about that.
But I know, but we always said that's what shorts are for anyway, right? Make you feel good about yourself.
An ego boost. Everybody loves it, needs an ego boost, especially when we keep talking about how everybody's not confident.
Bro, yeah. If you need some more views, you got some for free overnight. So what?
But actually, comparing it though is a big one though, because notoriously content performs different on all three.
Yes.
And it's like a joke.
Yes.
Never
like
the same.
Instagram,
yes.
TikTok, and YouTube. Yeah.
The big three.
The big three evil corporations. Yes.
But now, how do we know? Like, is it different on? Are we still going to see a difference in performance? Like, is TikTok really going to favor one type of your content? YouTube going to favor another? If the views are the same, the views are now the same. I don't know. I haven't thought about this too much because we know how I feel about shorts. But I think this is kind of crazy, and I think more people might stay or be on YouTube with short form content if it feels equal.
Because YouTube is still giving the engaged view metric, which is like what I think actually algorithmically use to figure out if they're going to push anything. But they're surfacing this other number. It's almost arbitrary. It's not arbitrary, but it's very fake. In that if someone swiped by your thing before ever watching your video, despite the fact they're counting it as a view, do you feel like that's a view, everybody out there watching? Does it feel like a view to you? Or do they just put a bunch of extra frosting on top of your cake? Which I'm okay with, by the way. I love good frosting. Listen, I'm all about that frosting.
Let's take it. Let's take the win. I know it means nothing, but if it makes us feel more confident and makes us feel better about creating that next piece of video because we're seeing higher numbers, that could lead to better content.
You know who this complicates? What muddies the water? He says muddies the waters. This muddies the waters for brands.
Well, actually, that's what I was thinking about too. Because when I was thinking about sponsorships, and I'm like, wait, knowing that we've been running different algorithms here, what are we paying out for TikTok versus YouTube? If that's the case,
if the numbers look the same,
and now if the numbers have been the same for you, YouTube's gonna skyrocket. I don't know.
But I've always said that for most brands, short form content's a terrible investment because there's just not enough engagement with unless it's the creator's own product line, and then even sometimes it's not great. Like, have you heard about that creator that made the pink stuff or whatever?
Yes, I've seen it at Walmart actually.
Bro, have you seen like the documentaries about her? Like, she doesn't even like own it anymore, and and how there's like whole little documentaries about her. Like the pink stuff, by the time you got it, wasn't pink anymore, and it was made weird. It was off, and all types of, it was separating, like all this weird stuff.
The pink stuff wasn't pink.
Not only that, like she sold the rights to another company, and then they were fighting, and then she's broke, and then she's I don't know. There's a whole thing. You need to look it up on YouTube. It's great. It's a great, cool, interesting thing.
Okay.
But the point is, like, that was something that she sold because she got famous for the pink stuff, so she ended up selling. So that makes sense. However, if I'm a company trying to get someone to, I mean, as it is, if you watch a YouTube video, what's the first thing you do when you see an ad come up? Like, let me skip out all that, right? So unless it's really tied directly to the content or the creator, what ends up happening is the viewers trying to get past it. So imagine if you try to get some type of message for your brand across in a video that's only 45 seconds long anyway. Like, here, show them this stuff. This is the water I'm using right now, which maybe you want. This is Stay Pineapple, the water that came from a hotel. So you can't buy it anyway.
It's a great sponsor to have.
But it's in like a metal thing, which I'm definitely keeping.
Save the earth.
So I'm definitely keeping it. So I think at the end of the day, investments from the perspective of brands was bad anyway. But we have an episode we did just a couple of weeks ago with Justin that talks about sponsorship.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, I agree the answer is none. I think it does mess some things up. It does muddy the water.
Yeah, it
but
muddies the water.
Does it really have any, I don't know if it really has anything, consequences. Did we earn more money with those views?
Well, let's find out if we do. We didn't because there aren't views that are part of the. Well, I don't. So for monetization, does it now count? I don't know.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. You said the channel views went up 30%, and I
think I
remember that conversation, but I don't know if anything monetary was tied to that.
I think it's just engage. I think they're still using engage views. They're just, and it's funny because you can tell when YouTube does something because TikTok did it because of the way they explain it. And the way they explained it, I don't have the thing here with me. I wish I could read it. Just read it. Just Google it. You'll see it. The way they explain it is very obvious. Like, TikTok does this, so we need to be doing this too. And they've done it. Shorts wouldn't exist if it wasn't for TikTok. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
So now that we've gone through all the questions, we should do something fun. What do you have for me?
Fun.
You know, because I've been watching the emails and the comments on the channel, and they've been like, "Oh, wait until Jen gets Travis back in human," because I made you eat the Cadbury egg.
This is not. I will get my revenge. This is not. First of all, we're in April.
Yes.
There's no candy corn available.
Good, thank God.
I checked for Easter egg version of candy corn.
Good.
We don't have it.
Good.
We don't have it.
First of all, I think I did you a solid by making you eat the Cadbury egg because, of course, it's delicious. But candy corn we can't do. Never. She's over there digging in the bag. Okay, my eyes are closed. What's going on? All right, my hands over my eyes. I don't like the way that sounds already. Oh, why did you kick me?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to kick you.
Why?
I think I was sitting.
Did we get a two-shot of that? Is that on film?
The other way.
Good.
Violence.
All right, what do I do now? Do I open my eyes?
Open your eyes.
Oh, gross! No, not this.
We have talked about this once or twice before. What do I have? I have a lovely rainbow.
Oh, I already want to throw up.
Peeps. And I bring this because this was literally my favorite food as a child.
You are 7.
Which is repulsive. I can say I haven't had these since I was a child.
I can feel it in my throat.
My mom would put these in every Easter basket. I mean, the Easter Bunny would put these in every Easter basket that I ever had. And obviously the blue ones were my favorite. The most artificial, the better. Yum, yum.
I honestly feel like I'm going to throw up.
I'm going to try it with you. I got my own rainbow pack.
I'm not even
I'm
joking.
probably going to love them. Honestly.
Here's the other problem. I haven't eaten this morning. So this is the first thing I'm eating.
Oh, what a treat.
Oh, man.
Should we do a little
ASMR? Please, Jen. Please don't do that to me. I swear to God, I'm going to... Why do I put up with you? I don't know. I can't open this. Good. I can't open it. Oh, well.
Oh, no.
It was a nice try.
Don't worry. I'll make sure I get mine open. They were really locked in here. They were like, we are keeping these fresh.
Because they don't want anyone to steal this. I mean, like, this is definitely the thing you need to be protecting. Okay, I think I'm just going to rip it from here. Look at that. All right. There we go. I just ripped it open.
Oh, my God. Look at the Peeps on a stick.
The Peeps. Why? What hellion came up with this idea?
They're like swimming.
Look, they're like melted.
No. That's standard Peep.
Is it?
I got the ducks too. Like the bunnies are
ducks,
not compared. Well, they're chicks.
I'll get that in a minute. What? I don't understand. Chicks. Okay, look, I'm not eating all
like
4 of these.
The bunny ones are flat. These got a little more squish to them.
Okay, you only took a bite of the Cadbury. Okay, so I'm only taking a bite. Which one do I take a bite of?
Which one do you think you'll like the best?
I like green and blue colors, but I have no idea.
So you should eat the yellow then.
What?
You should have answered. You should have lied.
Why did that scare me just then?
Known where that was coming.
I didn't. I didn't see you blindsided me.
These are a little bit stale. I'm not even going to lie to you.
How can it be stale? It's not even Easter yet.
Maybe this is how they are and I just don't remember.
All right. Go. You ready on 3?
No, I'm going to watch you. I probably still like them.
Oh.
Like, this is not a shock.
It's sugar.
Oh, that's delicious.
With but what's the middle part? I mean,
wait, these are still.
This isn't as bad as some things I've eaten.
These are still good, Mom. You can put these back in my Easter basket again.
You know.
Try the blue.
I mean, nah, bro.
Try the blue. Just rip the head off the blue.
Rip the head off.
Rip the head off. You got to get like a good amount of squish.
But what's in the middle of it? What is this crap?
I think it's just a marshmallow. Well, allegedly, I think
I don't
it's a
even
marshmallow.
like marshmallows.
You don't like marshmallows?
I like marshmallow like cream
s'mores?
on top of like a hot chocolate. Ugh, no.
Oh yeah, when you get the head, it's a little bit.
Ugh, that's a little much. I think I had some of the intestines. Well, we're not doing that again, Jen.
Wait, they're still I'm still not mad about them.
You wouldn't be because you're a wild person.
Like my childhood favorite.
Well,
Peep lovers, flood the comments.
Well, I got bad news for people listening, but also good news. Bad news is show's pretty much over. But the good news is this is not the only episode we're doing in this studio where we do shenanigans.
And hopefully many more to come.
So if you're new here, again, you can hit that subscribe button if you like, or, of course, leave us a 5-star.
Only 5 stars.
Only 5 stars on Apple Podcasts because that's the only one that matters. The rest are kind of nice. Hey, Spotify, if you got that as well. Whatever the thing is.
5 stars, though.
5 stars only. If you want to send us an email, theboost@vidIQ.com. And, of course, if you're listening to the audio-only podcast, there's a link in the show notes that let you send a text message. So, with that being said.
Go get some Peeps.
Go get some. Bro.
I mean, go work on your channels.
You're fired.